Two and one.
How we doing? And welcome to Sprangboro Sessions. I am your co-host Jamie, aka Sprangboro, and then to my strong side, which is both of them, I have TJ, the other co-host, aka You Are Dumbfounded. Today we're going to bring to you episode number 55 of Sprangboro Sessions. Sessions. Woo. Hello and welcome.
What's going on?
So it is hot as hell outside. Not
It
complaining,
is
just
a
stating
little,
the
a little,
facts.
a little housekeeping for last week, real quick though. Is I posted it was episode 55 last week. It was actually episode 54. So today is 55. So
Yes,
anybody who's listening and watching and following along, where was episode 54? That was me.
and we will get it adjusted as much as we can, and it will be
Oh yeah,
just
I'll go
fine.
back and edit it.
And then after you're done editing, I will copy last week's, and I will put it on my computer, and I will pull it apart so I can put it up on
Okay,
SoundCloud and YouTube.
cool, cool. You want
And
me just to send you the file?
no, I'll just
Huh?
grab
Okay,
them off you
okay,
on Facebook.
okay.
But yes, I wanted to say that it is hot as balls out. It's like I don't know, Alexa, what's the temperature outside? Alexa, stop. It's like 83, I think she said.
85 here, and I'm
All,
on the water.
yep, all humidity, and we're like, it's 30 miles from the lake or 25 miles from the lake or something, so it's pretty humid here. Uh, so I know we're gonna have some things to talk about today, uh, but I wanted to start this off by saying some you know, send the owners of 698 Roadhouse some good juju
Yeah, I
because
saw that. That's terrible.
they. So, for anyone that is anywhere nearby this area, 698 Roadhouse is a bar that, a lot of bands have been playing at through the pandemic. And if you follow this stream pretty tightly, then you know that I've played there quite a few times. In fact, just a couple weeks we played there. Um, so if you look online, any news about it, what happened was, is they have a smoke shack to the side of the bar, where they do all the smoking of the meats and the stuff, and apparently somebody new was tending to the smoke shack and started a grease fire, and then the
Oh
grease
no.
fire caught the building on fire, which caught the propane tanks on fire, which spread to the other building. I imagine in that pretty much that order. Um, so they had like 30 different fire departments around the area, different units working on trying to control the blaze because it caught fields around the bar on fire.
Yeah.
I believe power lines.
Wow.
And there was like a lot of exposed gas lines after the thing. And what really is unfortunate is even with the price of lumber, they just put a huge addition on it.
That was
Um,
that big edition you showed on
yeah,
Facebook, right?
yes, sir.
Dude, that
So they
stinks.
lost the whole thing. Everything is gone. The
Jesus
whole
Christ.
thing. There was a
Did they
lady.
put up GoFundMe or anything? That we can
Yes.
put up to?
Well, right now there's currently a PayPal whatever for uh, one for the. There was a tenant that lived above the place, and she lost all of her stuff, and
Oh no.
she got out just in time. Uh, Her daughter was just happened to be driving by that away after work, and seeing smoke in the distance. And when she got close, she said there was a cop right behind her heading to the scene. And when she got there, she started to run towards the building, and then the cop told her no, and then they all helped her get her mom out of the other side of the building, out of one of the windows. Is what I believe I read, and what I heard. So they do have a PayPal. Um, as for the bar, I guess they're going to be doing a benefit, as generally any business or anybody does.
Okay.
So I know whenever that happens, I know that South of 90 is going to be more than happy to put our, play some music for that and provide support for them in any way we can. And with that, of course, that boils over into South of 90, which also boils over into um, Sprangboro Sessions. So
Yeah, most definitely.
I will keep anyone interested posted for that. If there's
Please do.
any way that we can help, the business, we definitely will do that. Um, so yeah, it's pretty unfortunate for them. So that happened the other day, which would have been Friday. Today's the 23rd, so that would have been on the 21st. Just so I have it on here, so I remember the date. So yeah, that's real unfortunate, man.
Oh man, that sucks.
I know fires like all you can hope is that they have their insurance, which I'm sure they
Yeah.
would. Especially, I believe with certain zoning laws and zoning places, you have to make sure you have all that to be able to add, additions and things like that on. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure how their zoning laws are, but I'm pretty sure that they would have theirs because, and the reason why I say that is because like the bar, the Springside, that burned down some years ago, that our old that we played with different bands. That place burned down to the ground, and they didn't have fire insurance. So I do hope that 698 does have their fire insurance up to date and it's adequate. I
Yeah.
imagine they would. They seem like a straight up legit business. So I'm just hoping for a better future for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, man. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So
Uh,
what you been up to, broski? What's new?
I've been
What's good?
working. Just trying to think of what I learned this week. This is why I put stuff down on my phone because as I'm getting older, my mind has gone. Um, I don't know. I've been listening to a podcast about uh, different like the Freemasons and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, like secret societies. I've been listening to a lot of different podcasts that has like two part episodes around those different like secret society places like Skull and Bones and the Masons. And all these like little, so many like little quote unquote secret societies out there that started out like as groups and then broke off from it's like religion, you know what I mean? Like the Catholics and the Protestants, they all broke off and all that.
Everybody kind of goes their own little thing.
Yeah, they kind of take a little bit from here, a little bit from there. A lot of them have their roots in the Masons and Skull and Bones and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? Like just really interesting stuff. Something I didn't know was that, and I consider myself a pretty big World War II buff. The Masons were persecuted during World War II as well with the Germans.
Hmm.
Like the Jews had like the Star of David. The Masons had their own symbol that they had to wear when they
Yeah,
went
it's
to the
like isn't it
concentration
like a
camp.
G or something like that?
I think it was a triangle or a leaf. I forget.
Mm.
It was something strange. I forget what it was, but there was 80,000, somewhere between 80,000 to 200,000, I think, Masons that were put into the German concentration camps and killed. It was crazy. I didn't know. I thought like I thought that uh, I didn't realize that they were in there as well. I know they had some other little groups in there that the Germans were persecuting as well, but I thought the big one was just the Jewish folk. But I guess if you were a Jewish Mason, you were even like in more trouble. But yeah, it was kind of crazy to hear about that because I consider myself a fairly decent World War II buff. I did like a bunch of history reports on it back in like middle school and high school. That was like my go-to. Uh, that was my go-to report. You know what I mean? Like when you had to do like that class essay or class report, or build a diagram or whatever. So like I would build like I had one year I had a map, the full map of Europe and where Germany had moved all of their whole route. I had routed out their timestamps when they split off and went to Russia and we were trying to, like that. There was uh, I had a bunch of different routes for where they were going, the platoons and all that. Like I went into depth. That was one of the fondest memories I had because like it wasn't just like one that you stuck up on a wall. We actually built it with like sugar, so we had like
Oh
hills and
wow.
mountains and stuff. Yeah, so I drew out all of Europe and then we did like the elevate a little bit of the elevations, like not obviously quite to scale, but we tried to do like elevations on where the where the big battles were and stuff. It was really cool. Uh, but yeah, that was just some cool information, useless stuff I've learned this week. That's stuff that I've now forgotten. So somebody else's birthday date because of that gets dropped off. Now I know. Yeah, I forgot this. Now I know that. Like shit. Um, what else? What else was going on? Oh, you remember fast travel in video games?
Oh yeah.
You know how like you get like you go to a certain point, and then when you go back, you can go back out. Yeah, you can go back out. Well, apparently Nintendo, I guess, is going to start charging for fast travel in video games. There's like a couple of companies, I guess, that are going to start charging extra, like an extra fee to do fast travel. Yeah, so you don't have to actually like play the game. You like this. I think it's Nintendo that they're going to do it. So yeah, it is Nintendo. They're going to do it with an amiibo. I think it is one of their little figurines. And when you buy this amiibo, it gives you fast travel from anywhere you're at. So you can travel, like say you're in the middle of a dungeon, you can fast travel out, resupply, and then fast travel back into where you're at. I mean, it's single player stuff, you know what I mean? So it's not really game breaking or it doesn't hurt anybody else. But I just think it's kind of funny that, what we used to get for free.
Yeah, no.
Now they're like, oh, you want to fast travel? Okay, that's extra. And it's not even cheap. It's like $25 for one of these amiibo characters. It's like, holy shit, dude. It's like the price of, more than a DLC would normally be.
That's crazy.
It's like, holy shit, yeah. Yeah, it's there's a couple of them that are doing it. I know Nintendo was one. I'm pretty sure EA was the other one. Which it's either EA or whoever does Assassin's Creed there. Yeah, so it's a lot. It's Zelda Skyward Swords, the remaster. They're gonna the remaster. They're gonna lock fast travel behind an amiibo.
Dude, that's so wild. Like it's just wild. Games have changed.
Yeah, it's crazy how like they're just trying to like any nickel and dime you. But this one isn't really nickel and dime you. They want a 20 spot for it. It's like Jesus, man. That's like a night out for one.
Yeah, I'm just reading about it. That is wild that they're
nuts, man, right?
That.
There's another company that's doing it too, and I can't think of who it is. Pretty sure it's I want to say EA. Yeah, it's crazy like what they're doing with it. Doesn't really make any sense.
Just doesn't make any sense.
It's just I think it's just a way, you know what I mean, like something else
just another
that they're
little thing to make money.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering like where are they going to go from here? You know what I mean? Like we started talking about it back when they started doing like battle passes. We're like, all right, they're gonna give you a little less or a free game, but they'll give you a battle pass and you can get stuff with that if you wanted. But now it's like, all right, now they're starting to now they're delving into like they're delving into gameplay functions. They're gonna start changing you for gameplay features.
And those are just little things that. Yeah, I mean, it's so wild that they would even.
I mean, it's not a necessity to have, but it definitely takes a little bit of time off your gameplay, even for the people that are have the time to play. Their big thing is they were saying that it's a way for people that don't have as much time to play, don't have all the the time to go and play everything, that they can jump.
But that's why they call it playing the game.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
It's great. Who's the company that makes Assassin's Creed?
Fuck, I don't know. not Unity.
Ubisoft, that's what it is.
Ubisoft, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Ubisoft that talked about fast travel um, as well. Yeah, I just
So,
yeah, I just it's crazy. I would have it already pulled up. I would already have a screen thing for it, but it's kind of focused on the Xbox
oh
today.
yeah. Well, to anyone checking in, uh, his Xbox, he was giving it a little attention, as he said, because
Even it a little love.
it was heating up a little bit. I guess that's
Yeah,
caused by dust.
didn't have any circulation in it, so open it up and dust it out some. It was a lot in there.
Kick the
It's like
dust up.
yeah, it's like I just combed a cat. It was pretty bad.
Oh yeah. Well, unfortunately, that happens. I go through that all the time too. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So obviously, I spent some time mixing and mastering a song today that
Oh yes.
that South of 90 recorded yesterday. The song's called "Wish I'd Known." Um, yeah, pretty excited about the mix. Just trying to get it to where it sounds pretty good, and then just fine tune it even more over the course of the next week or two, and then ship it off, or just put it up to be on Spotify or something.
Yep.
That'd be cool. That's what I'm ready
Oh
to
yeah.
do. Is start putting some of these songs up.
Sounds good, man. I thought it sounded awesome.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
I probably seem
Yeah.
tired, and that's because I am. It's been a busy week.
Bruins won their the last game was 4-1. Freaking oof.
Yeah, they're playing today.
Is it today or tomorrow?
I think it's today. It's today. It's got to be today
Maybe
because
maybe I looked it up yesterday.
yeah, today's. It's got to be
Oh yeah,
today.
today is 7. Yeah, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, because tomorrow night's Pittsburgh and Vegas. So yeah, I'll probably
So
watch that.
if they win today, that's that.
Well,
That'll be
here's what I
four to
said.
one.
I said my plan was to have the Bruins and the Capitals play each other to kick the snot out of each other. So then, whenever they're done, the next team that goes to take a chunk out of them will have a lot better of an opportunity because they'll
You
all
were
be
going to third
together.
party them. I get it.
Correct. Uh, if the shoe fits, bro. So
Yep, yep.
I mean, Pittsburgh's 2-2. They they they
Nice.
they lost 4-1, I think, yesterday.
Oh, really?
And then Vegas played and they won. I don't remember what the score. It was 5 something, I think.
Nice.
I should know because I stayed up and watched the game. And Marc Andre Fleury, shutout, dude.
Yeah, if the Bruins go up against them, I'm worried. I don't think I don't think they're gonna. If anything, it's gonna go to overtime. We'll lose in overtime, but I don't know, man. Flurry's just he's a freaking beast, man.
Right, and then if they take him out, they're putting Robin Leonard in. So
Yeah. Well, either way, I mean, you got two solid guys.
it's
I don't
crazy.
know,
It's
but
crazy.
yeah, they'll be good games no matter what. I think it's gonna be. I mean, the Bruins games were going overtime every game except for that last one. You know, so they could have. I think it was just. I think the Capitals just were have a little bit of issues that they couldn't capitalize on last game. Just weren't meshing.
Well, that's because they're a bunch of d bags that just run around smashing everybody, and Boston's a
Yeah,
tough team, so they
yeah,
weren't giving them the opportunity to be the aggressive type that they usually are.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
sure when I watched Boston play the game the other night, they were definitely sticking with the boards. They were covering them strong in the neutral ice, which to anyone that doesn't know, that's the middle, where it's like blue or whatever,
Yeah, they
the
weren't
blue
giving them any
lines.
leeway.
Yeah, and I think that's very awesome, and I think that's what it was going to take to slow them down. um, either of them, because
Yeah.
if it wasn't going to be one, it was going to be the other. I mean, Boston, they're kind of got a reputation of being d bags too. But
Oh yeah.
I mean, Marshawn licking that other guy. Could you imagine if he did that in COVID? They'd fine him.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. There's I forget about bopped my head today.
Hmm.
See my fucking.
Nice. Yeah, Vegas won their game last night 4-0. That's
Oh,
the
yeah. Okay.
that's
That's
the score of it. Right now, it looks like Nashville and the Hurricanes are in a 2-1 series. Carolina winning. They're currently in overtime. 9:45 to go, according to my phone.
nice.
And then the Colorado Avalanche are playing the Blues, and the score is 0-0 in the first. Um, Colorado is 3-0 in the series. And then when we're saying in the series, I mean in the best of games of seven.
Yep.
So you have to win 4 games against the same team to move on to the next team to play 7 games. And then the next team to play 7 games,
I
and
like
so
I
on.
like that format. Like that's something I wish that I know it's kind of tough in football to do because it is. I mean, hockey is just as physical though, so I don't know. Like,
Oh,
yeah, I
I
don't.
think I think it would change the dynamic in NFL if they had to go
I mean,
to
I
something
like the
similar to
fact
that.
that it's definitive. You know what I mean? Like you
Basketball
either
does that.
win or you lose. But there's sometimes I'd like to see more games. You know, I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
seems like it's
yeah,
such
because
a
what
short.
was it like 16 games or something stupid? It's like something
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
16. That's it. Like such a short. It's like it's so short compared to everything else. Knock baseball down a little bit. I'm so tired of baseball. These 400 and something games or whatever they're playing. It's
No big deal. Just
like,
kind of doing their thing.
uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I've never been into baseball. Just haven't, never really been into it. I just wish football season was a little bit longer. I know it's probably hard to do though, because you can't really start it in the summer. Guys would have heat stroke in a lot of these states, you know, wearing all
Oh yeah, I mean
all
that
those
is kind
pads
of a
and
lot.
everything. I guess you kind of have to have it during that season that they have it. So
And it's not like they're on ice where it's cold, coming up on
yeah,
them. So
well, it is 4 months, but it's just only 4 months though. It's like fuck, dude. Ugh,
I know
man.
I'm really looking forward to football this year. I already told you,
Oh yeah,
last year at this time, football's okay. It's not really. It hasn't been my go-to sport here for the last 5-10 years or so. I'm always going to support my Pittsburgh Steelers,
yeah,
but I think it's going to be a great season because now they got through last year with COVID. They got through it. Now this year is going to
yeah.
be more normalcy. They're going to have more fans and stuff. So I'm excited. Pittsburgh's got this new running back. I think his name is Najim something. Let me look it up. But he came to us from Alabama, and he he's. They said that he's. They expect him to Najee 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 Harris. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm just telling you that name because you're gonna hear it a lot. Um, um, yeah, so Najee, they're saying that he's such a high caliber player. Now, again, I should probably reiterate. So is James Conner, who's from Erie, Pennsylvania. So it's a big thing, because he's from around this area and whatnot. But he was
Yeah,
always injured. If you're always injured and you're always on the bench, it doesn't matter how great you are.
yeah,
Um, that's why the Penguins are going to end up getting rid of Malkin in a year. You watch. They'll try one more time, and then after that, they're going to be like, because he's always hurt. But yeah, Najee,
yeah,
they're predicting that he is such a high caliber player and such a team player, and he's got a great personality and soul around him. That they think the next potential face for the Pittsburgh Steelers after Big Ben retires.
okay.
Um, I don't know because I haven't really followed him that in
You
depth.
think Roethlisberger's going to retire this year? You think, or
We'll see. I mean, he's not going to have many more years out of him.
yeah?
I know that Tom Brady, he's a lot older and he does a lot better, but he also puts in the work.
Oh, yeah.
Big Ben, like you can be talented, but now you got to work. You got to work.
Yeah.
You
You
know.
got to. He's especially as you get older, you're gonna have to work even harder.
Yeah. You know. Sure,
You
you
know,
got the
Brady
talent.
said that himself. He's like, I've got to work even harder than I did before, just to maintain.
Yep.
You know.
Because you have to put in the work, and I feel that that's where Big Ben. You know, he was not capitalizing on things because he just was a little. You know, I know who am I to judge, but he was a little big. You know, you don't want a fat Social Security or, you know, social service worker chasing that or trying to stop your family. You know, people say that shit about Trump. They're like, Trump's an asshole because he fired a couple of Secret Service guys for being overweight. But he's like, well, how can you protect my family if you can't even run down the street? And you know what?
Sure.
When you're in that business, like, I'm sorry, but there has
Yeah.
to be
I
a
mean,
time where it's like, okay, well, it's a valid point. Uh,
yeah.
so Big Ben, he was a little big, you know, trying to run around. He didn't have the speed and the stamina that he had prior years. He did great the first 11 games, and then it's not just his fault that they fell apart. You know, there was a culmination of
Yeah.
many things, and that was unfortunate, and it sucked. You know, it was definitely one of the biggest BKs, which is a boner killer for anyone that didn't know, for you know the Steelers nation. But yeah, maybe that was the spark that he needed to really inspire himself to push himself to be the you know the next Tom Brady. There, I said it.
Yeah, you never know. There's guys, somebody's got to do it once Brady steps out. Like Brady's got to retire. Somebody's got to step into those shoes. So we'll
Well,
see.
you
I don't
know,
know if
hate the guy
I
or
don't know
love
if
the
it'll be
guy.
Big Ben, but I think
Hate the guy or love the guy, man. I'll tell you what. It's, there's definitely no doubt he's a
oh yeah,
badass mother
yeah. There's
effer.
no doubt he's definitely like people keep saying like go. I would say
What's up,
for
kid?
our time period. Yeah, I would say definitely greatest of all time. I don't know. I mean, that's hard to say because you have so many great athletes that aren't around him.
She's painting.
Painting? What are you painting? Nice.
I might cut out
Pretty
two
little flowers.
little ones for my teacher.
She might cut out
Nice.
something for her teacher, huh?
I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
they'd
might
love
cut
that.
out two of the flowers.
Yeah. TJ said it. Here, you want to say I told
Still needs to dry. Hello.
Hello. So you gonna cut some of those out for your teacher?
Yeah, I might just cut out two.
Nice.
One pink one and one blue one.
Oh, I'm sure she or he will love that.
She.
She? I'm sure she'll love that. She'd be very happy to get those. That'd probably make her day. How's school going? Yeah. You have much time left in school? What do you got? A couple, like 6 weeks or something?
Like, so we only have kind of like 9 days that we actually have to learn because we're going to be having 2 days that it's just going to be all through the day. We're just going to be having fun and just learning a little bit.
Nice. That's awesome.
So Olivia started playing a new game on her phone like a week ago.
What game's that?
What game?
Wild crafts.
What? Wildcraft.
Yeah.
Is that like Minecraft?
No, it's nothing
No?
like it.
Ah, okay.
Not really.
No.
It's like mostly nothing like it.
Well, explain to TJ what Wildcraft is and what you do in that game.
So you start out as a wolf that doesn't have a pack, and then you have to actually fight a wolf to get a mate, and then you have to show it that I don't know.
Keep going. You're doing
You
fine.
have you have to show it that like
That you're not trying to hurt it.
yeah
Oh, okay. You got to befriend it.
yeah, but you have
befriend
to
it.
fight it.
by
Oh, okay.
fighting it, you show that you're
You're
basically say
strong
your dominance,
and you're
and then
Oh, okay. I
strong.
you
gotcha.
acquire a mate,
So like Pokemon, you got to beat it so it joins you, and then
and
gotcha. Okay.
then what happens after that?
Then we go to the den, and I didn't know anything about the den. I thought it was just gonna be like this one thing, and there was like this cabin. So I was like, that's gonna be my den. And then I actually figured out that we could hunt, and then I started hunting, and then apparently my mate started hunting with me, and I
Oh,
didn't know
cool.
that. And
Oh, nice.
then I made my mate a boy, and then his name was Milo, and then mine was Ava, and then I was a girl and he was a boy, and then actually I had a baby, and then she got to stage um, 1, and then 2, then 3, and right now she's a grown up.
Oh, cool.
And I
Very cool.
don't,
Sounds fun.
yeah, and I don't know if she's gonna have her own baby, but if she does, then there's gonna be a pack of 4.
Oh, nice.
And
Well, that'll be cool.
now, whenever we hunt, our family gets stronger. Whenever all of us like get to the next level, like we're mostly all of us are like past 10.
What's your baby's name?
So it started out as Liv, then Yummy, and now it's Avriel.
Adriel. Gotcha.
Very cool. Well, it's very cool. It sounds like a fun game.
This is my typical day.
You know, the typical day.
Daddy's groove, cray cray.
Oh, silly, silly.
Daddy's big girl. Look at her. 7
Oh yeah.
years old. 7.
Jesus. Ah, man, making us all feel old.
Ugh, I am old.
Uh,
Aren't I, Olivia?
No, you're still in your 30s.
That's right. I'll be old when I get to what? 40?
50.
50?
Gosh, I'm almost there.
I know someone who's
uh,
over 50.
I'm almost 50.
I know who's over 50 though.
Yeah.
Granny.
Yeah. Yep. And Aunt Roso. And Papa Frank. And Lin. Yep.
Oh, man.
They're over 50.
I'm gonna be
Papa
8
Mark.
this year though.
You are going to be 8. It's going to be great. This kid's been, she's been wanting to set up the pool.
Oh yeah, about that time, huh?
She's been
Killing
asking.
Pretty
him
soon.
about it.
She's been reminding me kindly about it.
Yeah.
Right now. I
Yeah.
want it right now.
Yes, she does. Well,
That's a project.
yep, that's gonna be done next week sometime.
Nice, very
We're gonna
nice.
have to go out there and in the evenings when it ain't too, I mean, I guess I got real no perfect time. Just when I do it, I'll do it. It doesn't matter if it'll be night or if it'll be after work one day. Where I'm like, all right, let's go. But then you gotta dig it out, make sure everything's
Yep.
good, make sure there's no big rocks. Might have to try and get some more sand. Well, you want to sit down?
Try to level it all out.
I guess she's wanting to join me here for. Okay, get on up here. Get on up there. Which is fine by me, because that's Dad's girl. It's just now I got the fan and everything going here. Alright, I guess I'll have to bring that down.
outside.
What?
But also the liquids are putting are
Yes,
filling the
yes. Our cousins are putting their pool in today.
Yeah, they already cleaned it out, and right now they're filling it.
That's pretty awesome.
And they have a huge one though.
Yes, they do have a huge pool.
Our pool is almost is like as big as this room.
Nice.
Not that big though. This
Still
room
pretty
isn't
big.
that. Yeah, but this room isn't that big.
Well, you're
It's
not that
kind
big
of.
though, so it's pretty big for you.
Yeah, so our pool is not the largest pool, but I know all of Sprangboro Sessions followers thus far have seen the pool because of the pictures that we had posted and stuff. But you know what? It's nice to have a little pool in the backyard.
Oh yeah.
You don't
He's
have to
the one
do all
who,
the work and set it
whenever
up or fill the water or clean the water. You know, when you don't have to do anything, I guess you're just thankful you have what you have.
Yeah.
most of the
Exactly.
time, whenever he's watching me in the pool, then he always goes in the pool, and I always try to trick him. I always say it's warm in here, but then when he comes in, he's really cold. Because I always
Gets
ask
that
him.
every single time.
Trickster.
Yeah, Daddy's girl, she tricks him.
I
Yeah,
get him every time.
every single
That's
time.
awesome.
But sometimes he
Can you,
just
can you believe I fall for it every
no.
time?
Every
Sometimes,
time, right?
I know.
sometimes he just
So gullible.
jumps right in. He just jumps right in, and then he's like,
I must
and
be.
he walks around like so cold,
I must be like your dad.
or he's like,
You know, just gullible.
So gullible.
So gullible.
So Mass Effect had a remaster that just came out of the first 3 games.
Now, did you end up trying Andromeda?
Yeah, I tried Andromeda.
I
I didn't like it.
I remember the day they come out when I bought it, because I bought it opening day.
Mhm.
I remember I played it and I enjoyed it half as much as probably a third as much as I enjoyed Anthem. Um,
Yeah.
and when I played it, I played it like a couple days, 2, 3 days, and I'm just like, wow, like this is just not all that exciting. I think
Yeah.
I wanted to just play Destiny 1 at the time or whatever game it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, so some people say that Andromeda was, the worst game, but that was until Cyberpunk and the other one that they say was it Kingdom Hearts or something. They said was it Kingdom Hearts or one of them games. They just everybody trashed it, said it was garbage. Right,
Anthem.
well, something 76.
Fallout 76.
Fallout.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Fallout
That was
and
like the worst
Cyberpunk.
launch. Yeah, Cyberpunk was pretty bad on launch, but even still, Cyberpunk wasn't as bad as Fallout
Fallout.
76.
Yeah, but I remember that when Andromeda come out, that was the first game that I had ever heard of at the time. That everybody was just like so quick to say how much it sucked and how disappointed and let down they all were. Um,
Yeah.
and then, that's how I remember Andromeda is because everybody was like trashing it right off the bat. I played it was okay, it wasn't like
It was
the
really
most
like the
amazing.
animations. It was like the
Well, yeah,
facial animations and stuff
all their cinematics were
because
were
they
garbage.
paid those out to another company, I think, to do. I think it was that. Yeah, it was like another company ended up
Yeah,
doing all their facial
the words
animations.
didn't link up at all. Like,
Yeah, and the
and it made
textures were
it made
rough
following the
and
story
it
like
looked dead-eyed.
so hard.
Yeah, it was
I
just
do remember
and
that
like
was
3 looked way better in the graphics department on that aspect. But the reason I was saying about the remake remasters was that a lot of people are like, yeah, obviously, you go online, you find opinions from everybody because everybody has one.
oh
But
yeah.
like I've seen a lot of things that people are like saying, uh, they're just going back to the old well to try and milk people out of money and all this. And um, my opinion on it is that I love remasters, especially if it's a game that I games that I really enjoyed, or even games that like Mass Effect. I only played I think 2. I think is the only one I played other than Andromeda, and I didn't even play Andromeda all the way through. Uh, I might have played 1 a little bit, but yeah. So it's for me. It's I love when they do these things, especially for franchises that were so well received, like the Resident Evils 1, 2, and 3 franchise. When they remastered those, I think it gives, especially because they're so old, it gives people that weren't around to play the original and to have that no internet, nostalgia, you know what I mean? Like that like going into it blind and not being able to look online for people's walkthroughs, or having to sit with the guide and play those, like, those groundbreaking games, and to see them like remastered and given like better gameplay, like what they did with the Mass Effect. They upgraded all the gameplay so that they were the same game mechanics basically through all of them. So it was, it felt fluid when you went from 1, 2, and 3. You remember, like, like when you go from like 1, 2, and 3 in a video game to like God of War. The basics of the mechanics are the same, but they tweak certain stuff. They add features and things like that. This one,
all that
kept it
stuff
all.
always just grows a
Yeah.
substantial amount.
What's that?
Usually, like the graphics and some of the
Yeah.
mechanics, they evolve.
Yeah,
quite
like the
dramatically.
core gameplay will change a little bit. They'll add features to it. This one, they kind of kept them so that they all had that same feel. And my thing is like, these remasters are good for the community. They're great for people who are, the younger generation who never got to play these games when they first came out,
Well,
and really would have no
it's
interest in playing them
basically
now.
it's basically the same game with an option to fast travel, which they charge you money to do.
Yeah, yeah. If they'd thrown in the fast travel option, they might have won over the internet. If they started charging for fast travel options, then they might have won over all these people.
But like you said,
But
it's good that they are providing that for the new generation to be able to experience that. I
yeah,
agree.
yeah, I just think it's like, I don't know. That's my opinion. I don't know if you have an opinion on it or not, but that's just it's to me. I think it's great. I think it brings back. I understand they're going back to the well, but not only does it reinvigorate like the bring an old IP that maybe these other people haven't played yet or haven't gotten to experience the full story, because 1, 2, and 3 are, they're they keep going. The story's the same characters.
Well, and
So
with the remaster and stuff, they generally, for a lot of people that game now, they don't understand the games used to not get updated.
yeah,
So, I think that a remaster, going back to your question about that, for my opinion on it, is that I do think they're great because it does fix a lot of things that were buggy at the time.
mhm,
They probably picked the things that meant the most to them and to their community base over the years, and and worked on them to modernize them. I think it's great. I think it's a
yeah,
great move for certain franchises to do that. I don't
yeah,
I think that it would be you know there might be games that it might not do them any good, but I do think it's great that they're doing it for some of them, because it would be nice to see them cleaned up and fixed up, like Andromeda. Like Andromeda, I would take another stab at Andromeda if they fixed all the cinematics and stuff.
yeah, yeah. That would I would throw my hat back in the ring for that. I don't know if I'd rebuy it because
Oh, I wouldn't rebuy it, but
I think
because
we
I
already
already
own
own
it.
it, I think because I
But
already own it, if they
yeah,
remastered it and let me get the updates,
yeah,
that
yeah. I think it's because it's a fairly recent. You know what I mean? But the other thing
or
too
do it
is that,
or do it like a DLC pack.
yeah, I think also, like, when they do these remasters, it it influxes more money to that IP, so that possibly they can actually take that money and they can pump that back in and go, okay, well, you know what? There's a real interest in this. You know what I mean? There's a real interest in this IP. Let's take this money we've now earned. We've shown that we can make earn enough for a remaster. We show that there's still an audience there for this IP. Let's pump out a new one. Let's put everything in. Let's put all our ducks in a row and get in there and make another entry in this game. Because while there's still talk and this series is still fresh in their mind. Maybe we erase Andromeda and we start over on a fourth.
Yeah,
And say, okay, let's do something between Andromeda and 3. Or maybe do a whole new jump off point for the Mass Effect. It doesn't necessarily. It's a huge universe. There's so many things they could do. I think it would. I think it definitely would be, a good way for any company to say, okay, let's test the waters without having to make too big of an investment. A remaster is an undertaking for sure, but if they remaster something, I mean, Final Fantasy VII, it's a classic. They totally remastered. They didn't even remaster it; they remade it completely. I mean, they rebuilt this thing from the ground up with all new ideas, and you know what I mean. And maybe not all new story, but it's not exactly one for one as from the original, and it's fantastic. And there's such hype for this game now. And it's basically retelling an old story. It's going back to that well. But it's crazy to see. I think it's nothing but good for the industry as a whole. And I just keep seeing like uh, all this talk from these companies, from these people online. They're like, oh, they're just milking the company. They're just milking the IP because they can't come up with something new and this and that. It's like, do you know how many new video games are coming out?
Haters
you
gonna hate.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like music. Music's only eight chords, but it's how you do them. Just like games.
Oh yeah.
They could have
Yep.
the same chord as this game and that game, whatever. If they take all this shit that works and they put it into one game, people will love it. Just like in a song, if you find all those little tricks that people put into one song, they'll love it. People.
Oh yeah.
They're just so able to have an opinion all the time.
Yeah.
So I was thinking. Now, battle royales.
Hmm.
Some people love them, some people don't, and the rest of us we like them, but it's whatever. So, do you think that the community, the battle royale community, is hurting for another one, or do you think that's kind of becoming a beat dog that needs to take a backseat and they need to come out with more straight up games?
I think there's still room for another battle royale. I think that there's still room to improve the game feature. The game, Apex Legends. A lot of people in the Titanfall community hate on Apex Legends. Um, I'm not sure why. I think they think it's taking. I think it's their butthurt. They think that it's taking away from Titanfall 3, but they've never had any intention of making Titanfall 3. They didn't have the
They said
funds
that
or
the
the
day that they released Apex Legends.
yeah.
They remember that we were talking about that.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
said it right
They
online.
they don't they don't have they didn't have the backing for it. There weren't enough people buying Titanfall 2 to do it. And there's an argument to say that, Titanfall 2, I'll keep going. Titanfall 2 was hurt because of the launch window between, Battlefield and Call of Duty. But it's something that is always going to happen in our industry. Launch windows are launch windows. Even afterwards, people were still playing Titanfall 2. It's just it didn't have the longevity. Uh, there wasn't much in the way of customization in it. It was a great game. The core of the game was awesome. The Titan play, the pilot versus pilot combat, the movement, the gun play, all that stuff was great. They took all that stuff and they put it into Apex Legends. And
It was a
Apex
good move.
Legends kicks
And
ass.
and they took it all and they put it to the hottest commodity at the time, which was a battle royale, because
Yeah.
they seen the way that it was going for H1Z1.
And they implemented it
And
well. They
and
took Overwatch. I mean, like, they took Overwatch's main. Sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. You're right.
They took Overwatch. They took parts of Overwatch. They took parts of what's the top one there? The one everybody hates, the dancing and building.
Fortnite.
Fortnite, yeah. They took, you know what I mean? Like they took that kind of not. I wouldn't say Fortnite like art style. It's similar, but it's not.
It's simple.
Yeah, it's a little less realistic as far as the art style. But they took their core gameplay, their movement, and Respawn is a master of the movement system. You can just by the years of doing Titanfall, and that movement system is smooth like silky butter. I mean, you can't tell me there's any other game out there that has as sweet a movement as Apex or Titanfall. It just doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
I tried jumping from Apex Legends to PUBG last night, and I did okay, but I did pretty good to one of the fights. I almost wiped the whole team myself, not 3 out of the 4. Um, but yeah, but that was the highlight. The rest of the night didn't happen. but the movements, it doesn't have the same movement as Apex does, or Titanfall. I think if Titanfall does a 3, there's a few. In order for it to be as big as Apex, it needs to do a few things. It needs to up the customization of the Titans. You need to actually get skins on the Titans. I mean, like not just like paint jobs. I mean, like how Apex has different outfits for each character.
Complete
Your
different
Titanfall, yeah,
reworks.
your Titan has to be. I mean, obviously they have to be some kind of visual thing, so you know what kind of Titan it is. But I mean, like the base core of it needs to still look the same. But I think there just needs to be a complete rework of the Titans instead of having classes of Titans like they did, like Scorch, Tone, Ronin, um, uh,
North
what was the air
Star,
North
Ion.
Star, yep, Ion.
And
They
what's
need
that?
to actually give you something either where you build the Titans and you have like a pool like you do in Call of Duty, like a pick 10, where you say, okay, if I put on a lot of armor, it's
Extra
going to be
running
it's going to be
running for the
slower.
legs with stronger armor on a chest plate by 10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but if it does that, the more armor you put on it, the slower it's going to
slower
get.
it's gonna get.
So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You get that plus in the armor, but it's always going to knock your movement speed down. Or, you know what I mean? Like you're going to put more weapons on there. Okay, well, your defense is going to come down because now you've taken away from your
You go
armor.
from yeah. I think
You see what I
that'd be
mean?
great. Absolutely. Uh,
I think that would
I
bring
think that
more
would
people
really.
in because you have so many, and you just add stuff. You give them, base titans. You give them like 6 or 7, 8 classes of base titans, and then they can modify them. They could go with a Ronin, but say they want a Ronin that's just going to kind of tag people and jump back, but he's going to have, extremely fast. He's going to get like 3 or 4 of those little shift boost things, and I'm
But he's got like next to no armor and
no
next to
armor. Yeah,
defense.
you him three
You spit on
times,
him,
and
he's
he's
fucking
gonna
close to
jump.
dead. Yeah.
So the skilled players, those TTV players, are gonna be really, are gonna really have to be good and on their game with that Ronin to kind of to jab in, maybe let somebody else with a heavier armor, like a Legion come in with a heavier armor, and then they can pop back out, and then again do it with the tight with the pilots, because again the pilots have their abilities. So you've got different skins and you upgrade your weapons. They're bringing in all their stuff from Titanfall into Apex. The car machine gun, that's already in the files of Apex. So that's probably going to be one of the next one, if not the next gun, or one of the next guns. um, but they need to do that in order to, they need to put as much customization. I hope they learn from Apex that they do that with Titanfall 3 if there's ever a Titanfall 3.
Well, see,
Because,
I agree.
but
I agree 100%. Uh, you know, the thing about it, in my opinion, IMO or whatever they call it, IMO, is that okay? A lot of people enjoy playing Apex. A lot of people enjoy playing Fortnite, and a lot of people enjoy playing Warzone. Uh, so a lot of people play them. Here's what they all have in common: they're a free game. So that's why there's so many more people playing them,
mhm,
because they're a free game. Now,
yeah,
drop a Call of Duty for free, a base game like your Modern Warfare for free. Tell me, do you think that more people would get into that, or a battle royale if it was offered for free? I
like
think
regular multiplayer Call of Duty.
like straight up, like you take Modern Warfare, the one or whatever that they're playing now. Okay,
Mhm.
imagine them handing you that game right off the bat, free. They'll do their updates and everything. They'll charge you for skins. They'll charge you
And I
microtransactions
had
at
to
different
choose
times.
between the two.
It would like would you do you think that that would go better than the battle royales because it's a free game at that point? It's that caliber of a game being offered to you for nothing.
I don't think it would hurt the battle royales, because I think the battle royales will always have. This is the thing about battle royales. It's like Call of Duty. Call of Duty is like its own entity, because Battlefield is gone. Battlefield 6 is supposedly being made, but Call of Duty, I don't care what anybody says, Battlefield was the shit for a while, but that last Battlefield killed their player base. There's none. Battlefield Firestorm, that battle royale they did, killed their player base. 90% of their player base has moved over to Call of Duty. You have your hardcore guys that are still playing like the older Battlefields. Um, but if you go into a Battlefield, how quick is it to jump in? Even when you're paying $60 for, a 200 plus megabyte or gigabyte Call of Duty game, how long is the wait to get into a game?
Not that bad.
Maybe 60 seconds to a minute and a half. Your wait to get into a Battlefield game, 3 to 10 minutes, depending on what time of night you're playing it. I mean, it speaks for itself. You know what I mean? The same with Titanfall. Titanfall 2 still has, a 5-minute wait to get into it. But I would say that Titanfall 2 probably has a bigger player base than most of those Battlefields combined right now. You know, and that Titanfall 2 has been around for a long time. And Apex has done that by bringing in Viper into, Valkyrie into Viper's daughter into Apex Legends. And they're just going to keep doing it. They've got Ash from the Apex Predators. She's made a cameo appearance in the story. So we're going to find out, because she's the one that introduced the new game mode into Apex, which is a 3 versus 3 game mode. So I feel like Apex and Titanfall 2's gonna start blurring the lines character wise. You're gonna see more and more of their characters, because their guns and everything, their lore is all in the game already. And like I said, the base movement and the gunplay all feel identical to what Titanfall 2 is. So I just feel like, even if Call of Duty, I don't think Call of Duty has to put out. Let's put it this way: I don't think Call of Duty has to put out a free to play game. That's how strong and passionate the Call of Duty community is. I mean, look at everybody bought World of War game. You know what I mean? Like, so I just feel like I feel like they don't have to. I mean, if they did it, I would download it and I would probably play it a little bit. I'd probably play it more.
I feel
probably play it more.
Go over better than the battle royales do. I understand with the battle royales it's easier, because then you have one board. You can have one big giant board, and you can just have 100 people drop in every time. And with the multiplayer games, there's so many variables. I get that, but Destiny. Look at Destiny. Destiny 1. A lot of people, they were the diehards. They played it. Destiny 2. The diehards. They played it. They provided it for free on Steam and all that, and a huge community of people started playing it.
Yeah.
I feel that's the move in the new generation. Like, on the PC they have like Iron Face, and they have all these other games that are free, but those games are not the high title like a Call of Duty.
They're not AAA.
They're not like that. Like, I feel that you would get more people to play your game and really become dedicated, hardcore players of that game if they offered it for free.
Yeah.
And I understand they have to make their money, but they had to make their money on the battle royale, and they still do that and still.
Oh yeah.
It. I just think.
Apex just.
Go ahead. Sorry. They just need to make a core game. Like the next, like Black Ops 5. It needs to just be dropped as a straight up game on all platforms for nothing. Badass game right off the bat. They're as badass as they can get, and to the same caliber of the battle royale games, like, because even on their free to play weekends, the Call of Duty, their servers were wide open with a lot of people, because they opened it up for a weekend for free. Like, I just think
the thing is, they have to support it for a few years afterwards. That's the tricky part, because that's where Apex kind of has an edge up on a lot of these. These battle royale games have an edge up, is that the company's only focusing on that one game, so they can dump all of their resources and their time and their employees, because it's a lot of stuff, even just to make a photoshopped thumbnail for the store. That's for their store in there. It takes a lot of time, a
Right,
lot of
but they've
resources.
been like Call of Duty, that as a franchise they've been doing that this whole time
Yeah,
with the last several of them.
I just think that like a AAA studio like that, the amount of money they have to dump into it, I think that it would be beneficial for them. But I think they'd have to do it over the long term. Like like the studio would pretty much they would have to do that. Like Call of Duty, this Modern Warfare, how it's been supported this whole time, even though we're already into Black Ops, and then we're going to be into another game come November, a few months from now. They still need to make sure that they're adding, DLC. They're adding new skins, new modes, map changes,
Right, which
all
they
this
would do,
stuff.
and they would work
Yeah,
a lot
which
harder if they provided the
yeah,
game for nothing.
they're definitely doing that right now. I'm not sure how. I would love to see it go free. I've been paying for Call of Duty for I don't know how many years now.
Yeah.
Fucking 12 years. I think
I'm
I've been
just
paying
That's all
Call of
I'm
Duty
saying,
every
dude.
year.
If they
You
provided
know.
one, if they drop one like they did Warzone, where they provided for nothing, I think that
Yeah.
they would build such a
Well, I
strong
do like what they
following
did with Warzone, where they've implemented
in the
Black
last.
Ops into into
Correct.
into Warzone.
I think
I
that
do like
I
that.
do think that's brilliant as well.
Yeah. It doesn't split your player base either. So that's the other thing with Call of Duty too, is that if they have too many studios start doing that battle royale multiplayer free to play format for each, and then each studio does that, the three studios that are for Call of Duty, you split your Call of Duty player base up. You know what I mean? Um, so the only question really I think for me would be is do they have a big enough player base to afford to do that? Because not that nobody's going to download 200 gigabytes for Modern Warfare, 200 gigabytes for Black Ops, and then 200 gigabytes for what I mean. They're going to have a hard drive just for Call of Duty.
Hmm.
Like
Just like we used to.
So I just wonder if they would. I mean, it'd be brilliant if they did that. They would certainly put a huge dent in most of the battle royales because I'm sure there's a lot of these 14, 15 year olds that are like, I'm so tired of building shit in fucking Fortnite. Can I get another free game? You know what I mean? Like,
something worth a damn.
yeah, some AAA free game. You know what I mean? Like, uh, so yeah, I mean, I would love to see it. I would love to see somebody try that. Uh,
Yep,
it
me
definitely,
too. I think
definitely,
it'd just be
definitely would
really
be
awesome.
interesting.
Um,
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it'd be real. I think if anybody was to do it, Call of Duty could do it. I think they've got three pretty decent studios right now. I really would like Raven Studios to do it if they could. I just like out of all of them, I like their gunplay the best. Their movement and gunplay, I think, is the smoothest and not too quick, not too slow. Um, I just don't know. I don't know who else I'd want to see do because I think they would. I think Raven would put in the most work out of all the other studios. I think they're the youngest out of all of them, aren't they? I think they're the newest studio out of all of them. So I think they'd have the biggest thing to prove.
yeah, well, we'll see how the new generation of gamings go. But
Oh yeah.
I did send you a list while we were on the pod earlier of all the releases for the year. Um, just a little
Oh yeah.
food for thought. It shows you all the different platforms too. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's just so many great games out there, and it's gonna be hard to find something that's gonna woo everyone. It'll never happen, but they can keep trying.
Yeah, I mean it's a balancing act. It's like they've got to make money. Uh, they've they got to keep the attention of the generation that has one of the shortest attention span. There's so much stuff going on. You know what I mean? Like they got to try and keep even my attention. It's like, okay, I've got so much coming at me at once, trying to navigate it all. It's like there's so many games I'm sure that out there that I missed that are probably fantastic that I just haven't had the time to even look at. Never mind know they exist.
Right. Oh yeah.
you know?
And I mean that since we've both switched over to PC, we see such an even stronger and larger
Yeah.
community of games. It's like holy crap. It's like my laptop can only handle so many games, so I'm only going to invest so much. Of course, that just leads to I need to buy a bigger hard drive.
Yeah. I have to buy another one soon too. Actually.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Because I think I would play more games if I could just have a couple ready to go. But
Yeah.
games, we've had the conversation. They're bigger, they're larger, they require more space. And then when you play them, you're like, I just wasted a whole evening of downloading for this fucking stupid game. That's not even fun. And
No.
how can this game be 90 gigs? Like,
Yeah. But then you get a
game.
game like then you get a game like Valheim, 1 gigabyte, and it's hours and hours of fun.
Oh yeah.
You really need to download that so we can start our own little server. I guarantee you and me would have a blast with that. Just building fucking shit,
Yeah.
like
It's
killing stuff and
it's
hunting
worth,
stuff.
It's worth looking into. Which platform is it off of?
Steam.
Steam. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at
I
it.
think it's fairly. I think it's pretty cheap too. I don't know.
I don't care. You're paying for it. Don't even matter. Yeah, pricing doesn't mean shit to me.
Price doesn't mean nothing to you.
um, but yeah, yeah, I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, oh, there's so many great games. In fact, I told you the other day about NBA 2K21.
2K. Yep.
Not my gig. Never really played those games. But hey, it's a free game. I added it to my library. Maybe one day this year, I'll get
Yeah.
a wild hair and I'll install it. That 100 gigs or whatever it is. I'll get on and shoot the ball, dribble a little, do some passes.
Yep.
I mean, like, dude, could you imagine me trying to play that game? I'm like, who's that? Who am I? Like, who's that? I've never even heard of this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I don't follow basketball
which
enough
one
to
of
even
these
have
guys is even worth a damn?
Yeah.
Oh, that one right there. Jay Dare. Nice. Nice. And actually,
Who the hell is this? Who
I
the hell is
think-
this Otto?
See, I think that's the one.
German dude?
I think that's the one that Crack Daddy and those guys were gaming and were playing because you could like build your character and you could go and play in My Neighborhood or whatever it was called. And you were,
Oh,
like,
maybe,
basically-
yeah.
You were basically like just made your little basketball player. You just went and did scrap games,
Yeah.
backyard games. Like that would actually be
Yeah.
kind of like in hockey. It's shell, but
Yeah.
the problem that I ran into recently with hockey is it was so much fun. 16, 17, 18 was fun. 19 was pretty fun. I enjoyed 19. They went to 20. The mechanics changed a little bit. That was okay by me. But I could tell the community like dropped a lot because then games started to take forever to get into. And then a lot of the lobbies you get into were pretty toxic. Like
Oh, really?
when I get into a game, like I want to at least go into the game. Like when you're in a lobby and like your whole teammates telling you how much trash you all are before you even go to
Yeah.
play the game.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
that's just-
okay, well, all right, well, you're wrong, but mute. And then you're like, oh, well, now I have no communication with my teammate because he's
Yeah.
a D-bag and I have no desire to talk to him anyways.
Yeah.
And then you're playing, right? And you skate up front. Let's say you're the center. You got the puck. You get the face off. You drop it back to the left or the right. The guy gets it, busts it over to the guy on the other side. Guy goes to slap the puck in, and the goalie on the other team blocks it. That guy's pissed off. The guy original guy gets pissed off because the other guy didn't make it because the goalie actually blocked it. So what's he do? Backs out of the game. So then next thing you know, this guy's a crybaby over this, and then he backs out. And then next thing you know, you're playing with 4 computers, and it's just you and another player, and you're like, this
This is
defeats
fun.
the whole freaking purpose of
Yeah.
what I was trying to do. Like,
Yeah.
this is dumb. So that's why I don't play the hockey games as much as I did a couple of them ago, because they're just not the community is just toxic. It's not
Yeah.
fun, in my opinion. At least what I've experienced. So
Yeah, it's similar with Apex where it's like I'll try to play like a few games. Like I always forget and I'm always like, oh yeah, I'll play a few games with some people. And now I'll just jump into like trios. And then I'm like, I remember why I don't do this because there's no like sticking
communication.
together. One dude will
Yeah.
run off on his own and then he gets knocked. Now you're trying to run in there, you don't know where anybody is. It happened to me today. And you're trying to pick it up and he's spamming the alert key to let you know where the dude in front of him is just knocked him where he's at, but that guy's getting ready to kill him, so you try to rush in and somebody snipes you. It's just
And
like,
you're trying to hear
why am I?
in the
Yeah,
distance, and you
the
can't hear shit
footsteps and
because all you hear is
stuff. And
ping, ping, ping.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
I'm like,
okay, dude. All right, we're
that's why I
done.
usually play with. I play like I only play duos with somebody else, or if I have a third, I'll play with trios, and it's a lot more fun. Talking to each other,
Yeah,
saying,
going
okay,
just playing with
don't
random
attack yet.
people. Just
Yeah,
it's not like it used to be. Like back in the day when you play Call of Duty and you play with random people. Most of the time, you were playing with people that wanted to play and wanted to win, and were playing. They knew their role and they would be willing to do their role. You
yeah,
know, where a lot of new generation and new games, everybody's just a bunch of one single gunners on a 6-man team, or a bunch of running gunners on a 3-man team. It's like if you have 3 people on your team, then that's 2 other people you have to work together with.
yeah.
And
That's,
if you're the better, like if you feel like you can direct it, and you want to take point, cool. But hey guys, like we should try this here. What do you guys think? You know,
yeah.
not be like, oh my god, you bitches, let's go. Oh my god, can't you see where I'm pinging over here? Ping, 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 ping.
Yeah.
Let's go over there. What are you doing? You don't need anything. It's like, dude, your balls haven't even dropped. I like like
Yeah.
mute. We're
Yeah.
done here, and then you got nothing. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
It's just
I
the way of the
try. I
world,
still
you know.
try. So I forget, and I'm like, I'll try it. Like, fuck, why did I
I
do
just
this?
I just don't
You
even
know.
most of the time I just don't even put myself into the situation because
Sometimes I get lucky, get like 2 people that are really good, like, but most of the time it's like you go with one person who doesn't want to listen or just wants to run off and then gets upset when he gets knocked and leaves. It's like, okay, well, so you just ran off into a group of people, got knocked, and before you even got killed, before I can even get there to recover your banner, you've backed out because I wasn't right on your. I mean, you have the same mini map I do. It tells you where I'm at.
and that
you
game
know,
shows
like,
you everything.
like,
Uh,
dude.
People are
But
crazy. In fact,
oh yeah,
I guess I'm about ready to go do some of that.
all right,
We'll go play some
we can do that.
Apex. Uh, I've had fun. It was nice getting on here and getting to do this today. Next weekend is
Always
Memorial Day weekend. I should
3 day
still
weekend.
3-day weekend.
Yes,
I
sir.
should still be good to get on next Sunday. Um,
Cool, cool. Me too.
yeah.
Hopefully, it'll be cooler.
Well, hopefully it won't matter. Hopefully my pool will be up by then.
The pool isn't here, so.
Yes, my pool will not be up by then. Let's not go to hell with a
Well, it
joke.
looks like it's about to rain here, so that's good. It's supposed to drop down to like 50 something, 51 tonight. So,
Nice. That's very awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what? I'm glad everything went well for this week, and I'm glad that I got that song mixed down today. Been getting some feedback from everybody, and it's been really, really,
Oh, yeah, man. Sounds
really,
good.
really proud. Can't wait to share that with everyone. You can check out South of 90 for the page for the updates. In the meantime, stay happy, stay healthy. Don't be afraid to live your best life. Deuces.
Peace.